No, I mean, I'm not too worried about it, and we talked about it this morning and looked at it a little bit more. And, our setup was, for the most part, pretty good. We had guys attacking the ball. It was a little bit of a fluky play in weird conditions. So we're going to try not to think too much about that and, focus on what we can do going forward. I think we're just going to chalk that one up to a bit of bad luck, and we're confident in where we are with our defensive set pieces right now.
Thank you, Joe. We'll go right back to Tim Sullivan.
When you look at what conditions you guys have had to deal with for the first couple weeks, seeing that it's not supposed to rain in Dallas this weekend, is that something that you're looking forward to, especially as a keeper?
Yeah, definitely. Rain, wet conditions are always one of the worst types of games to play in for keepers. But we have a team full of grinders, so I think you've seen it in the first couple games where whatever the situation is, whether it's the 8 road games, whether it's bad weather, turf, whatever we have to deal with, there's nothing you can do to change it. So you just put your head down and work, and that's a testament to the character that we have on this team. And but yes, it is nice to see a little sunshine in the forecast.
Drake Hill's the Tennessee, and you're on with Joe Willis.
What's up, Joe? Wanted to talk to you about a couple of the guys up front that perhaps you should let me know if you guys have been scrimmaging much or playing a little bit of small side, just to get a chance to take a look at Teal and Ake. Obviously, Ake's been with you guys for a little while, but just wanted to know how you think they are, acclimating, especially Teal because he's newer, but even Ake because he had just his first preseason. I'm curious to know your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I think they're both acclimating really well. We see them a lot with finishing and training, and they're both really good players, and they right now are adding a lot of depth to our team because, to be fair, we have a lot of good attacking players between, Hani, Randall, and CJ have been starting the first 2 games up top, and, as good as Ake and Teal have been, it's hard to say that any of the guys who are starting shouldn't be. So it's a lot of positive things coming out of training for sure, and I think everyone is going to benefit from that individually, and us as a team, we're going to benefit from it when you got guys who are pushing each other, and even guys like Hani, who had basically an MVP season last year, has guys trying to fight for his spot, and guys who are capable of starting week in, week out. It can only benefit the team.
Ben Wright, you're on with Joe Willis.
Yeah, Joe, you guys have played Dallas a couple times, but this is a little bit of a kind of new look for them, especially up front. What have you seen from them so far, and what kind of areas are you guys specifically trying to focus on tomorrow?
Yeah, they're going to be a young team with a lot of energy, so they'll be looking to press us a lot, and I know they like to play with 3 guys high and keep a couple guys wide, and really like to hit on the counterattack and move the ball up the field quickly. So we're going to have to be cautious of that and be aware of how many guys we're sending forward into the attack and making sure that we have things shored up in the back first. But we have a lot of confidence in the way we've played our first 2 games. So we look at it as just another game right now and another opportunity for 3 points.
Any more questions for Joe Willis? We'll wrap up today's session with Tim Sullivan. Go ahead, Tim.
Joe, Gary mentioned just a few minutes ago that with the workload that the guys have been getting, maybe some rotation is in order. But when you look at what you've had to deal with, I guess the past 2 years even, in terms of the workload, you basically were weekend, midweek, the whole year. Is it a little bit more of a normal rhythm with the schedule that you guys have now, rather than kind of having to deal with games stacked on top of each other?
Yeah, for sure. I think it's a little bit more predictable. You can kind of get into a rhythm, like you said, week in and week out. And, there were times it felt like last year when you're having, Saturday, Wednesday, Sunday, Thursday games, you're kind of just hanging on for dear life and hoping to put 11 guys on the field and get out and get out of there. So it's definitely nice to have basically a full, healthy roster and to have a little bit of time in between games, not just physically but also mentally. It's good to step away from a game and be able to go back, look at it. I mean, there were times last year where we would play a game and we wouldn't watch video on it because we had to focus on the next one already. So that's been, you know, a little different this year, where you have time to analyze a game and then get a real, you know, thorough scout on your next opponent. So I think the schedule this year is going to be huge for everyone.